Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to a new daily series that I intend to bring to the channel as long as you enjoy it. The footy type show, Scouser React, so a Scouser reacting to football type news. Now, it's predominantly a football show, so we won't always talk about Liverpool. The Redmond Roundup, which is daily, and the live stream at night is mainly for the Liverpool topics, but as it's a football show, we'll never remove the idea of talking about Liverpool. So if a big signing happens, that can be used for this show as well. But that's just a basic explanation. Before we get into the first topic, I want to touch on Manchester United with their new additions, because they're now very close to signing Onana. They're now linked with somebody called Højlund, and I'd love to hear more about him because I don't really know much. And then Arsenal have been doing some serious business, and I want to talk about the contention of what both of these two teams bring in the new upcoming season. And over time, I intend to talk about teams like Newcastle, Tottenham, even Everton. Why not give Everton a little bit of time? You know what I mean? But before I do get into anything, I want to send all my blessings and best wishes to Edwin van der Sar. It turns out, I believe, I don't want to incorrectly diagnose him, but I believe it was a brain hemorrhage of some sort, which has rushed him into hospital. Premier League legend, Manchester United legend. And I hate people who say, even though I'm a Liverpool fan, I wish him the best. I hate stuff like that. I hate it. It's like, it's a human life, you know what I mean? And I really do wish the best, and I hope the Holy Spirit is filled up in the place and where he's at right now, and he gets home safe and sound to his family. Anyway, let's talk about the first topic. Onana, former Ajax goalkeeper, had a little bit of a thing there where he didn't play for 6 months. I believe he got banned for something, which I can't remember, so I don't want to incorrectly give a reason why that was. But then he joins Inter Milan. And now Manchester United, with the fact that David De Gea is currently a free agent, and with the fact they've been in need of a new goalkeeper, in my opinion, for the longest of times, Onana, I think, will be a solid replacement, and I think he's a good signing if it's one that fully gets complete, because right now it's just like in talks and it's close to being done, but all round I do believe it's one that will massively improve Manchester United. Because before I talk about how good Onana is, I think the topic that Manchester United fans maybe struggle to expose more, because Liverpool fans do this with Henderson. It's like, well, we can never let go of Henderson because he's a legend and we need that leadership. And maybe United fans look at David De Gea in the same way. But then I watch David De Gea and I see a very one-rooted, one-dimensional goalkeeper, great shot stopper, but at the same time hasn't really got that element of composure. He doesn't really dictate the back line. He hasn't really got a vocal, a loud vocal voice. So that's why I'm sort of thinking, as an all-round goalkeeper, I think he was in that net for 2, 3, maybe even 4 years too long. Not that he never done anything well, but maybe, and I stand by this, it's another cup here or there if David De Gea is not in goal. For instance, I look back at the Europa League final. I done a watch along on this channel when Villarreal beat Manchester United, and Alberto Moreno done the whole get out Man United, get out, and it was great. But David De Gea, I do believe, if he was a better penalty shot stopper, because he can make the flashy saves, and I don't want to make it sound like David De Gea isn't good at all. But I just believe for a modern-day goalkeeper, he massively lacks in many departments. And maybe if he was born a little bit later, he'd become a bit more of a modern-day goalkeeper. But I do believe this is one that's been needing to be done for a while. If I'm Man United, I'm not signing David De Gea on a contract extension, because if you're buying Onana, I believe Onana is considerably better than David De Gea as an all-round keeper. And I just believe he's more imposing in the net. I think if you're going through one-on-one against Onana, he's just that goalkeeper. He's going to make himself huge. So I believe this is going to be beneficial for Man United. I believe we're going to see less mistakes being made. Because even if you want to look at a David De Gea compilation, it's minutes on minutes on minutes of mistakes. I believe I even saw I think it was a 20-minute compilation of David De Gea making mistakes. Or I don't want to over-exaggerate it, because it's going to piss off United fans. But this is an improvement, and that's what United and Ten Hag need to be working on, is those improvements. Now, that's the goalkeeper situation pretty much sorted, because the deal's nearly done, and let me know what you think in the comments down below, whatever team you support. The next person United are linked with, now they've already completed Mason Mount. Onana's now on the way, and then now there's this guy called Højlund. Now, I don't even know where he plays. I don't know how much of a good player he is. I haven't really heard of him. I know that he has a similar name to Haaland, and that's probably about it. Let me know if he's good, guys, and maybe I'll have to look into him a little bit more to see if it's a player that, if United was to acquire him, is it someone I should be scared of as a Liverpool fan who could compete? And then before I get on to Arsenal, I want to say, if these business deals get done, because Højlund's been linked more so than most players, Onana's pretty much done, and Mason Mount is done. So I'm thinking, what does that elevate? How does that elevate Manchester United from third to first? And I believe that, depending on how efficient Ten Hag's systematic structure is set up next season, because Mason Mount, he's a system player. He's a good individual, but he's one of those, he thrives when a manager adheres towards him in a system. And then Onana, he's someone who's going to stop more goals from being conceded. I already like the Martinez's and Casemiro's. I think you're fine in those departments. So now when you analyse everything, back four, fine enough. And then midfield, that's probably the strongest area of the pitch for Manchester United. And then I ask, what's the striker situation looking like? Because as much as Rashford had a good season, I'm thinking didn't he go through 3 months scoring 2 goals? It's just not the outlet that you should rely on to score you league-winning goals, as we saw that. And we've seen this in the past. Rashford just has those up and down mental moments, which is very normal for humans. But then there's some people who can just maintain that consistency. And I think getting an out-and-out goal scorer, I don't know who you want it to be, but if you do choose that person, then we're going to see nothing but good things going forward from an attacking standpoint, because Manchester United just don't have enough up top. Martial's now, I believe, gone, or he's going to be going soon. Rashford, again, I don't think he should be the main outlet. I think he should be more of a winger. And then you get that player who is going to get on the end of chances and be that outlet. And then I think Manchester United go from not just being third place, but now putting themselves closer to those title conversations. But a lot needs to be done for that to happen. In their current position, I wouldn't, if Liverpool so happen to be in the title race next year, which isn't a guarantee either, I would not fear as Manchester United being one of our competitors. But one team that I would fear is Arsenal. Now, that was the second team that I wanted to talk about in this little 8-minute video, because their business has been nothing short of sensational. Let's be honest, I'm not here to lick arse. I'm here to be as blunt as anything. Declan Rice, Timber, they just signed Saliba on a new contract extension. They've not only got a good first 11, which was established last season, they're now building on top of this. You know, Kai Havertz is now going to be the backup to Odegaard, I assume. I doubt he's going to be a regular starter. I don't understand how he'd be a Xhaka replacement, but I do understand how Declan Rice is an upgrade on Xhaka. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? Because I was thinking the other day, does Declan Rice get Arsenal from third to first? And I thought, I'm not too sure. But then I said, wait there, but does he make them better? And that's the case. He does make them better. I think he's better than Granit Xhaka. And I think he's going to add more to the team, a bit more solidity. And he's young and he's going to fit in with the culture of the football club. And I can just see him really warming to the Arsenal fans, and then vice versa as well. And it's a great project, and it's one that suits Declan Rice. And then when you're getting someone like Timber, when you've already got Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba, like great centre-backs, and now you've just gone and got another great, promising centre-back. It's really interesting, because these are guys who, and Arsenal are smart, they are building a team in which is profitable. They're building a team in which is not only good enough for the right here, right now, to at least compete, but it's also good enough for the sense now they've got multiple assets in all positions. So if Martinelli somehow goes bad, they can sell him for 40, 50 million still. Even if he had 2 bad seasons, they could still get a price like that for him because of the age. And this is why I think it's very, very smart that, unlike Liverpool, for instance, I think we've kept hold, and I'm sure you'd agree, we've kept hold of some of our players for way too long, and it's still happening right now as we speak, where people are saying, let Henderson see out his final 2 years of the contract because of the leadership, and they forget that we need to focus on rebuilding. And I think Mikel Arteta, since he's joined Arsenal, has reinforced that urgency. Like, listen, even though we won an FA Cup with the experienced players, we need to work on building a young, hungry team, because not only is that an attractive environment for more young players to come to, but it creates an environment of people willing to listen. It's what I love about young players more than old players. And if you ask the manager, I think they'd agree with a similar sentiment, is that these younger players, even though a lot of them lifestyle-wise and modern-day-wise, young people aren't really living the best way that a top-level footballer should be living. They've still got the influence of parties and going out and girls left, right and centre. But at the same time, if you create a unit with a top-class coach, which Mikel Arteta has shown to be, with top-class young players, then everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet. And that's why I'm looking at Arsenal this season thinking, well, it's not just Declan Rice, which is the addition. They've now got Kai Havertz and they've now got Timber. So now if Saliba does get injured, well, we've actually now got Timber who's going to come in and do a solid job as well. You know what I mean? And then now you've got Kai Havertz, and it's like if Odegaard's injured, well, there we go. We've still got someone who scored in a Champions League final, regardless whether you think he's shit or not shit, because he's a better squad option. And these are the things. Arsenal now focusing on the squad part of things. They had to build the 11, because the one when they had David Luiz, Aubameyang and all this, and I always did say, you can go back and watch AFTV, because I went on AFTV and spoke about Arsenal, is that this one just takes time. And I never saw the benefit of starting this project with Arteta, letting him go and then getting someone new in. I think this makes perfect sense that Mikel Arteta is not only the coach, but the system that he's building. And I think Arsenal right now are probably one of the most attractive teams in the Premier League. If I was completely biased and I was thinking, what teams do I want to join right now? I'm 22 years of age, so if I was a footballer, say I was playing in the Championship and I got an offer from Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, and let's say those are the three teams, because City, I feel like that's an incentive in itself, but let's say I'm a midfielder. I'm thinking Arsenal, why not? Why not go there? Why not get the chance to work with a top-class coach who's going to provide me opportunities and be around other young players who are like-minded, who want to prove themselves, who are also hungry? I'd feel a lot more comfortable in that environment if you were to be a specific type of player. And the best type of player you can attract is the young players, because they're the ones who are going to break from being good to superstars. So I think Arsenal are onto something with this project. The signings they've made, fantastic. The Saliba extension, great. It's interesting how that one's worked, because, you know, he came in, him and Arteta had a bust up, and then he went, done boss, and then came back, and now he loves Arsenal. So Mikel Arteta just has a method to the madness the whole time. Now, I'm not sitting here saying they're going to win the league, but the question I raised when I started talking about Arsenal is that will they be in the title race if we so happen to be as well? I believe whether it's one team, two teams, three teams in the title race, Arsenal will be one of those teams. I struggle to see a world where that doesn't happen with the football they were playing last season and all these things. And because my question was always, okay, when Arsenal get to near enough the top, can they keep going? Because they never under Arsene Wenger, but now can they keep going? And that's exactly what they're doing. They've just went and finished seconds and gone and spent 100 million in the league. You know what I mean? Like the best season they've had in years football-wise, and they're just going and improving the squad more and more, and that's what a top-class club needs to do. So Arsenal fans, let me know in the comments down below what you think about what I've spoke about. United fans, don't be too aggy because I said to hey, I was shit, alright, you know it's facts. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, much love to you and your mothers, and I will see you all on a Redmond Roundup in a bit, and then a live stream tonight. And until then, peace out.